Of all the fights, you've had 50. Who would you say was your toughest opponent?
You got guys that punch hard and hit hard, and you got guys that come out and win a few rounds. But nothing really was tough.
Floyd fired the referee in the middle of the bout. He stops the bout. He's like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Castillo got robbed.
Max Kellerman is making his stance crystal clear, known for his razor-sharp analysis. He didn't simply offer a fresh opinion, he went further, directly challenging one of boxing's most iconic figures in doing so. He may have sparked a firestorm, splitting fans and forcing everyone to rethink what they thought they knew about the sport and its legends.
And Sugar Ray Robinson, how many wins he got? I said he got like over 150 wins. He stopped for a minute. He said, but who got more championship titles, me or him? I said, hold on, Floyd. He said, answer the question. I said, Floyd, there's more titles now than then. There was just one then. That's no fair. Answer the question. I said, okay, you. Do I not have 28 titles? And I was just like, I don't know. He said, oh, you're supposed to be the expert. But the reason why I said that is because there's minor and major titles. Who else greater than me? I said Henry Armstrong, Roberto Duran. He said, oh my God. He said, you said something about Pacquiao. Yeah, I said, I think you'll beat Pacquiao every day of the week, but I think he had a greater career. He said, you ain't think Pacquiao was on steroids? I said, he didn't fail any tests, Floyd. He said, look at me in my eyes. I can't say, man, he didn't fail. He said, oh man, you fake. I saw that as a initiation. This is what you about to get. Nobody's greater than Floyd. My thing is, he should feel that way, but you can't expect everybody to feel that you're the greatest.
As debates over the current pound-for-pound king Terence "Bud" Crawford reached a boiling point, Mayweather's camp started making waves, subtly questioning the modern era's top fighter. It wasn't an official challenge, but a string of calculated comments meant to remind everyone who still held the crown what began as a classic Mayweather maneuver unexpectedly unleashed a storm. Max Kellerman, a man who has dissected Floyd's entire career, heard the subtle jab and fired back with a ferocity that caught everyone off guard.
If you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. Cotto, an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. He fought Shane Mosley at 38 years old, and it still was a good fight while he left. Shane almost took him out at 38. He fought Oscar De La Hoya at an old age. My point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight besides them biggest, best two names you can pull up? I'm just saying, Floyd never fought nobody that was hubby.
This wasn't the measured historical analysis fans were used to. It was raw, unfiltered, and poised to shake the boxing world to its core. The first shockwave came when Kellerman directly tackled the Mayweather versus Crawford debate. Instead of glorifying Floyd's perfect record, he threw down a statement that left jaws dropping. He claimed that Terence Crawford, with his relentless pursuit of the toughest challenges, has already forged a stronger, more compelling legacy than Mayweather. Kellerman highlighted two completely different approaches. He described Mayweather, especially after leaving the lightweight division, as a master strategist not only in the ring but outside it, a fighter who meticulously curated his fights, picking opponents carefully, often waiting until they were past their absolute prime.
Floyd provided everyone unrealistic expectations. You could win every fight, basically never get hit, and make all the money. It's not going to work like that for the most part for everybody, you know? Like, it literally only went that way for one guy.
I love Floyd, but it seems like everybody's afraid to have that O, to have a 1 or 2 where the O used to be. Ali follows.
He highlighted Crawford's crushing of Errol Spence Jr. and his masterful dismantling of Canelo Alvarez as undeniable evidence in Kellerman's view that fearless readiness to face anyone at any time wasn't just impressive, it was the very definition of greatness, and he argued it was exactly what Mayweather's later career lacked that alone could have sparked a storm. But Kellerman was only just getting started.
Everyone, right up until the point where he started to make money. But as much credit as you get for making, the primacy of business, for making business your priority, well, that comes with trade-offs. Because when you make business decisions constantly, sometimes your athletic achievements won't be regarded in the same way as if you made athletic achievements your priority. That said, Mayweather has accomplished a tremendous amount athletically. But the three fighters he didn't fight, Antonio Margarito, Manny Pacquiao, when he was obliterating De La Hoya, Hatton, and Cotto, and Shane Mosley when he still had something left. And while he will wind up fighting Pacquiao and Mosley, it'll both be, at the right time for Floyd. That said, what about at the right time? Floyd, he's also ancient. A fighter approaching 40, fighting at the level Mayweather is fighting, is unheard of. Mayweather, until recent times, would be considered one of the greatest older fighters. That would be the whole story. Oh my God, can you believe how old Mayweather is? It's a little bit unfair to Floyd to say, well, you're picking these guys at the right time. Floyd is old.
But to fully grasp the intensity of this debate, you need to know this isn't Kellerman's first confrontation with Floyd Mayweather. For years, their careers have been intertwined by one of modern boxing's most infamous predictions, a professional shadow that still follows Kellerman long before the historic super fight with Manny Pacquiao. Kellerman was the loudest and most respected voice forecasting Mayweather's downfall. He repeatedly argued that Floyd's legendary defense was on the verge of collapse, claiming that age and accumulated wear would eventually catch up and his perfect record would finally break.
Pacquiao you're describing, who knocked out Ricky Hatton, who YouTubed Ricky Hatton, turned YouTube into a verb, what he did to Ricky Hatton, and then destroyed Cotto, and before that, and then just the way he beat De La Hoya even before that,
Well, De La Hoya was old, though.
Sure, but Mayweather fought those guys basically at the same point in their career that Pacquiao did, before them. Okay. And the reason that Mayweather-Pacquiao fight was hyped up to the extent that it was is that, boy, Mayweather's this all-time great, and Pacquiao was doing these guys even worse than Floyd is doing them. Everyone wanted to see that fight. That Pacquiao's been gone for a long time. So why don't fighters retire when they should?
He wasn't merely predicting a loss, he was forecasting total and complete collapse. Of course, the collapse never happened. Mayweather went on to dominate Pacquiao and retire undefeated, leaving Kellerman's bold claim to become a running joke among fans, a constant reminder of his supposed bias against money. Mayweather. This backstory adds a crucial layer to today's debate, forcing everyone to question whether his current push to elevate Crawford's legacy is pure unbiased analysis or the final move in a decade-long chess game, a calculated attempt to retroactively win an old argument by redefining greatness. Just as the boxing community was processing his take on Crawford, Kellerman widened his critique, targeting boxing's most untouchable status, Floyd Mayweather's pound-for-pound ranking. On a recent ESPN list that placed Floyd at number 1 for the century, Kellerman strongly disagreed. He claimed pound-for-pound Floyd shouldn't even be ranked above Manny Pacquiao, highlighting Pacquiao's journey from flyweight champion to welterweight powerhouse, conquering multiple divisions and never avoiding anyone. Kellerman argued this achievement carried historical weight that Mayweather's carefully curated career could never replicate.
Put 5, that's right.
That's cheating.
I love it.
That is cheating.
That's a heel turn. You the boss.
That is heel.
That's a heel turn.
I love it. You do that 5.
Now, here's the thing. Roy at his peak, just remember this. If Roy would have retired after the Ruiz fight, he would have replaced Sugar Ray Robinson as the greatest fighter of all time. I agree. Right? But he didn't, and the rest of that stuff is in there, right? So I get it. But Roy at his peak, I think, had a higher peak than anyone on this list.
I agree.
Okay, Manny Pacquiao, we've all said it a million times. I think he is, outside of Sugar Ray Robinson, I have Manny Pacquiao's second greatest pound-for-pound fighter ever. Floyd Mayweather never lost. And did he cherry-pick when and where? Yes. But guys, from 130, 135, he cleaned out 135. He beat the best guy at 130, beat the best guy at 135. Yes, did he pick and choose at 140, 47, and 54? Yeah, but he won all those fights.
That's right.
And he beat a lot of good fighters. And more than that, put Floyd at his best in with anyone through history. You do not know who wins. Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, it's true. Floyd is one of the top 10 greatest pound-for-pound fighters who ever lived. Tough to argue otherwise. But pound for pound, he can't be above Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a flyweight champion. Not that he turned pro at flyweight. He was good enough as a flyweight to be the lineal champion, the real champion. Now, he didn't win titles in every division. He skipped some of these, but I just want to tell you how flyweight, junior bantam, junior feather, junior light, junior welter,
He's rapping again.
junior middle.
He rolling.
And he laid waste to these divisions. He fought great fighters. He never ducked anybody.
Mayweather, no disrespect at all to him. He's one of my favorite fighters growing up. Love watching him fight. Perhaps the greatest boxing business person of all time.
Yeah.
Look at actual boxers in the business. But I don't want to see many fighters come out of retirement. He's done everything he can do. He's one of the best fighters of all time.